Howdy guys, welcome to another episode of Midweek Musings, where as always, I would have memorized the crap out of this intro, and I say once again that nostalgia lives, fandom thrives, and those treasured pieces of plastic we all grew up with, collect and display with pride. Absolutely. And they still give us that warm, fuzzy feeling inside. However, they remain as the fabric of broken marriages while promoting mold and dust illness. I'm your host, Clinton, and today we're diving into the heartbeat of a phenomenon that spans generations, cultures, and collector walls around the world. The mass appeal of action figures and why collecting them has evolved from a childhood pastime into a way of life. From the first time you tore open a blister card and held your hero in hand, maybe it was He-Man, Batman, or Stormtrooper, you weren't just appreciating a toy, you were kind of storytelling, you were world building, and you were connecting. That's the magic. And that magic, it never really goes away. Now, toy collecting is actually more than nostalgia. It's art appreciation, cultural memory, and in many ways, self-expression. So whether it's a Mondo, beg your pardon, Motu figure with insane sculpt detail or a vintage Kenner piece that smells like the 80s, there's something deeply personal about curating your own universe, not Mondo. And in a world that kind of moves so quickly and fast, the love for collecting really grounds us, I think. They remind us of where we've been, who we've been, and perhaps even where we're headed in this lifetime. Before we start the show, a special shout out to Sugo Toys for sponsoring this episode. So make sure you stick around to get a special discount code for the night. Full transparency, as always, none of the toys that you see here were provided as cash for comment. Everything was purchased by each and every one of us. So as always, make sure you sit back, crack open a drink, live vicariously through us. And for the night, allow us, like every toy channel, to be those wankers. Okay, hello again, and tonight we are going to pay homage to Japanese-themed toys, not necessarily all Japanese, and a company that I think is synonymous amongst all collectors for their variety and versatility that spans across multiple toy lines. So let's get the boys in. First person, the man from the suburbs of West Ryde, someone who keeps accountability and is always good on his word. He's a recent snooker and billiards hustler, for lack of a better description. Very often generous and a collector of many toy lines. He's always enthused about almost everything. He has multiple passions and probably loves swords of any kind of description. Ladies and gents, I present to you Adam Walk.
What an intro. Thanks, Clinton.
How are you, mate?
Good. Didn't want to be a wanker, but here we are. Eh?
I'm just saying, people can live vicariously through us. I mean, like every,
beautiful.
It's jest, right? It's in jest. If people take that way too seriously, I think they have a serious problem. But we're all wankers. We're all wankers anyway, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
Love the description.
Live vicariously through us as wankers. Good evening, Rob Franklin. As always, wonderful to have you join us. Now, the second person coming on tonight, we got possibly also a third, coming all the way from Nelson Bay, a place where most toyreel members and ourselves often take a sabbatical over there. This man is another man who is the gatekeeper for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. He's consistently consistent kind of guy. I always say he's consistently consistent. He's a lover not just only of Transformers, but also a plethora of other toy licenses, and the recent owner of a lovely 1999 Trendmasters Iron Giant figure. Ladies and gents, we present to you Michael or Mikey, beg your pardon, Siciliano.
How dare you, sir, Michael? I only get called
Michael.
Michael when I'm in trouble. Oh, thank you. Very lovely intro. Thank you very much, sir. Yeah, very happy with that Iron Giant. Whilst we're here, we're actually going to be watching that maybe tonight or tomorrow, depending. We're going to be watching it with a friend of the show, Ryan, and yeah, it should be good. And yeah, looking forward to. I mean, funnily enough, I didn't actually have anything to bring to this show tonight, and then just before coming here today on the 2.5 hour drive it was good. It was an easy drive. But yeah, just yesterday I was able to hear a knock at the door, and my what I'm showing off today just happened to arrive, and yeah, it's something that's been showcased on this show last week, but seeing as that was a 2-pack and the other half of the pack wasn't shown, well, we might be having a look at it today.
Very nice, exciting times. I do miss Nelson Bay. Like I said, it's always the toyreel sort of like second home. We've done several nice streams from Nelson Bay before, so yeah.
And you know, all my friends are all more than welcome here. There's no issue with that, and it just happened that this time a bunch of people were available now, and I needed a bit of a break, and yeah, we're here. So yes,
very good. Very good. Yeah. So I'm sure at some point we will probably all congregate at Nelson Bay again with lots of toys and unbox them and do a live stream from where you are currently at on the dining table.
Yeah. Yes, I remember your Conan unboxing. Remember that one? That was at Nelson Bay. That was good.
Yeah, that was Mikey and I. Yeah,
that is a very good memory you got there, Adam.
Excellent. Yeah, very good. Yeah. Okay, gents. Well, tonight, as I said, we are paying homage to Bandai and Tamashii Nations, and I just want to give you a sort of a quick profile on the company itself. They were founded in 1950 in Tokyo, as the original name was Bandai Ya, reorganized under the Bandai Namco holdings after the 2005 merger with the video game giant Namco. As for the scale and value, they're Japan's largest toy maker and the world's second toy brand after Lego. Can you believe that? So Bandai Namco's net worth is roughly estimated to be around $14 billion as of 2025. So here are some of their core IPs and product pillars. They obviously are renowned for Gunpla, which is the plastic model kits, Gundam. They have Sentai, Power Rangers, Kamen Rider, Ultraman role-play toys as well. Friend of the channel, Jonathan Hawkins, he loves his Dragon Ball. They do Dragon Ball, Digimon, Tamagotchi, and also capsule toy Gashafon lines. They also do arcade prizes, trading cards, and also amusement machines. Now, they also adopt a adult collector strategy, which involves the creation of Bandai Spirits in 2018. It's a consolidated high-end model kit, prize and figure business, kind of giving them their own R&D and sort of premium distribution channel. Now, as far as their global reach is concerned, they have like multiple subsidiaries in the US, namely Bandai Namco Toys and Collectibles America. They have offices in Europe and Asia, and branded retail such as the Gashfon and the Ichiban Kuji cross store in London's Camden Market opened in 2023, targeting the growing sort of a kid adult market or segment. Tamashii Nations, which is part of Bandai, is actually Bandai's premium collectors brand. They launched in 2007, 2008 as the dedicated collectors division, now the flagship label inside Bandai Spirits for figures aimed at ages 15 and above. Their signature figure lines include several things like SH Figure Arts, Figure Arts Zero, their hyper-articulated 1/12 and effect-based statues or figures. They also have one of my favorites, which is the SH Monster Arts, Tokusatsu and Kaiju in true scale sculpting. Tonight, we're going to look at a couple of things Adam are going to show us from the Robot Spirits, Robot Tamashii, and Metal Bill, both plastic as well as die-cast enhanced mecha. They have another line called Chujokin, which is a heritage die-cast series as well. And then they have the Senseiya Myth cloth or Proplica Imagination Works, along with event-exclusive color edition runs. So these guys are known for their engineering hallmarks, digital 3D sculpts, data direct from IP studios, matte multipass paint for anime fidelity. They have a proprietary Tamashii stage display stands, and they frequently use a lot of die casts in joints or armor parts for kind of like heft or durability. Now, they frequently conduct community events such as the annual Tamashii Nations Expo in Akihabara, which is where I think is one of my favorite places, as well as Adam's. And that was the latest information from Tamashii Nations in 2024. Where they showcase a lot of prototypes, hands-on demos, and sort of limited run of figures as well. Now, Tamashii Nations World Tours, they have a lot of installations and traveling pop-ups across like 20 plus countries, plus permanent like Tamashii flagship stores in Tokyo and also Shanghai, believe it or not. Now, as far as their distribution is concerned, they do standard retail, they do premium web exclusives, hence they call them Bandai, and then North American distributions channels through a particular distributor called Bluefin Bandai Namco Collectibles that were renamed in 2019. So in a nutshell, Bandai supplies the full spectrum from mass market kids toys to arcade hardware, while Tamashii Nations represents its high spec laboratory for adult collectors, marrying sort of Bandai's manufacturing muscle with small run sort of detail driven engineering. Together they sort of allow Bandai to essentially dominate both the toy RL as well as the premium sort of display shelf for collectors worldwide. So there you go. That's a in brief, that's basically what Bandai and Tamashii Nations are. So yeah, cool. I'll bring the guys back on, and there you have it. I'll basically look at a couple of comments first to see who's on, and then I'll get Adam to talk about his robot spirits. He's one wonderful RX-78 Mark II that he has there that looks amazing. It's surprising to so Jason goes, surprising to hear how big Bandai is, and while I don't think I have any Bandai stuff in my collection, there's probably something in there made by them. I dare say we all have something. I'm absolutely sure that we do. Rob says, I remember the GoBots machine men were from Bandai, as were a few of the very early G1 figures. There you go, Jetfire, Whirl, and Roadbuster, if I'm recalling correctly. Yeah, absolutely.
He's correct. Yep, definitely.
Yep. Yeah, so there you go, guys. A bit of a primer on Bandai and Tamashii Nations. I'm thrilled because I really enjoy their stuff, and great stuff. Anyway, so tonight we're going to look at those couple of things, and we're gonna go back and forth. So Adam, fire away. Tell us what you got with that glorious figure that you got in front of you.
Yeah, did you want to go to the pics?
Oh yes. Yes. Yeah. So actually, I was going to say, before we get the figure, Adam, tell us. You had a recent trip. You went to Tell us. You went to Thailand, right?
Yeah. So I went to Bangkok to play pool, actually, for 9 days, 12 hours a day, 9 days straight. But I did spend 1 day to have a break from the pool table, shopping, because I went there. Geez, it would have been like 15 years ago or something, and I remember the large. Just huge stores, right? Multi-level, 7 levels, and a lot of tech, and a lot of goods, a lot of fake goods as well. But one like there's MBK, there's Terminal 21, but there's a large shopping area with 3 huge shopping centers. They're all interconnected by these sky rail kind of skywalk things called Siam. It was in the area of Siam. One of them Siam Paragon, but one of the stores, one of the big shopping centers, I walked in and I had no idea that it was going to be there or how big it was, because same thing you kind of see. You would expect something like this in Akihabara in Tokyo, right? But they had on the bottom level, probably half the whole level, a huge pop-up, Tamashii Nations pop-up, right, with all their goods, massive, and crowds were there. So that was really interesting to see, and I got super excited. And I was like, "Holy moly! Like, Tamashii Nations are here! This is insane!" Because I was looking at getting this guy in Australia, and I was so excited. I was like, oh my God, I can get this here and bring it back, right? And do a bit of shopping in the actual Tamashii Nation store, which we've been excited about because I think one's coming to Australia pretty soon. We'll talk about it with Jonathan. So we're excited to see that happen. And I think it is going to happen. So watch this space for that. But yeah, I think I got into every chat group, started messaging everyone, sending photos of this Tamashii Nation pop-up store. And they actually had a store in there, but it was quite small. The pop-up was huge. But yeah, the store itself was maybe 10 by 10, not quite a small shop, but geez, they packed the ranks. Like there was lines of everything, all deep, fully stocked completely. You couldn't walk in there. You want to throw a photo up? Continue.
Yeah, throw a photo up. Yeah, let's do the first one, eh? Let's have a look at this one. Come on.
We can go through them.
There we go.
All right, so this is the Gundam store. So I had no idea this existed either, but behind the Tamashii store was this huge monstrosity of a store. I mean, you can see that it's 20 meters to the right. It went around the corner another 20 meters. It went back this way another 20 meters. It was huge. And they had everything in there, T-shirts, like everything Gundam. So this was like the Gunpla store. You get any model. They had every single model made on display as well. And then this big guy in the middle there, that was probably about 6 foot. Now, this is the Tamashii store. So behind the Gundam store is this, see how it's like only 10 by 10. It's a pretty small store, but look at the shelves, like absolutely chockers. So everything, SH Figart and Bandai Spirits and Bandai stock, fully stocked completely. So everything you see on the website was in there, eh?
I see a giant sword there. Did you perhaps purchase that?
Yeah. No, I wanted to, but it was huge. So that was awesome. I think it would have been about maybe two meters. But I think they said it was life-like. So
it's customs as well. I would probably not like that.
Were you kind of half tempted to buy the sword?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I know I sent you this photo. I was like, holy moly, guys, look at this sword. This is it. It was amazing. If they bring it to Australia and if they bring that sword, I'll buy it.
Yeah, shall I throw another photo up? Oh, actually, Jonathan goes. Actually, before we go on, we just quickly address a couple of comments. I didn't realize the care boxes you find in a cheap store, toy stores were copying Bandai box designs until now. And he also said that I'm pretty sure I saw a Tamashii Nations or Bandai pop up in Chatswood in Sydney a few years ago. If you look at there was actually, and it was not in Chatswood, but they did a recent one where they did something at Macquarie Centre. And if you go to our Instagram page, you'll see I did a little reel on all the Gundam stuff. So they did a little Gundam pop-up shop. And that was, I think, maybe perhaps they did in Chatswood. I really want that Zangetsu. Yeah, why not? I have a wooden replica, but an official one would be great.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
So is it a legitimate sword?
No, replica, yeah, but it's not. That's not a real steel metal sword.
Right.
It would be plastic prop, but if on the box it just displayed really like it looks like it's going to look really good, like full replica.
Yeah, fair enough. Good. Okay.
It's pretty expensive. Yeah, I mean it's not going to be metal. You can swing it around and start.
Yeah, just decapitating
people, but yeah, it's pretty real replica. But yeah, Jonathan, let's look at it, mate, and see if we can get our hands on it, eh? Once that store comes in. And then the next photo, yeah. So then I went outside because this is one of the skywalks that was going off to one of the other the Siam shopping centres, and this guy was there, and he was huge. He would have been about maybe 2 levels high. The photo doesn't do it justice, but mate, it was so good. I felt like I was at I forget what was his name in Japan where they pulled him down. He had the name. The big Gundam. They got the
RX-74.
Life-size Gundam. Yeah. So I mean, it wasn't that big because that thing had stages and everything. But this guy was pretty big and pretty awesome. But normal shopping center, you got Nike, you got everything there. Normal shopping center, and then randomly Tamashii National pop-up store on the whole bottom floor. These two shops up on the top level, and then this guy outside in the middle of So there's not really there's not a huge toy scene there that I know of.
In Thailand?
And in Thailand, yeah. Not like
actually,
not like
you'd be surprised. Actually, Thailand has quite a massive toy community. They have a lot of customizers in Thailand. In fact, if you remember, there's also a guy called his name eludes me, but he does custom heads for like all sorts of 1/12 scale figures. All boys CTTS or something like that. They're all based. So a lot of them are based in Thailand.
Nice.
Yeah. So what are we looking at here?
Yeah. It's
So what are we
something
looking
that
at
you
here?
wouldn't you wouldn't expect, like when we think about like the toy community and how we were accessing toys over the last few years, and you wouldn't think Thailand. I mean, it was Singapore, direct from Japan as well. But it was just really nice, and it was a really pleasant surprise to see that huge Gundam there. So this was in a random, like a Japanese kind of $2 store where you get your toothpaste and everything like that. Like we have here, Daiso, right? It was like a Daiso. And they just had blockies. They had a pretty cool toy section.
Jason's gonna slime himself right now.
I know. Jason. This photo was for Jason. But like you don't generally see that in a Daiso in Sydney or Australia. And then there was like a Kiki K or whatever, those those kind of stores. Yeah. So there was one of those, and they had this on as an end display. So just some chaos stuff.
That's pretty cool, eh?
Yeah.
Hello.
Good evening, Craig.
Nice.
How are you?
Good evening, Craigles.
I find when you leave predominantly English-speaking countries, you end up with a language barrier getting to communities, toys, or otherwise. Well, yeah. But like I said again, you have a lot of toy communities. You'd be surprised in Philippines, in Thailand, in Vietnam. Yeah.
Those toys look sick.
Yeah.
I remember
for KOs, they look pretty cool.
I'm going back in November if anyone wants one.
Yeah, cool.
So are these KOs or something? Are they like
they're because they say super alloy deformation car 159. So that's how you can tell. Whenever the word deformation's in there, that's the giveaway.
Yeah, you just don't see prominent stores.
I gotta say, going back to this though, this is impressive, right? So, it's actually it suddenly occurred to me that I should have shown you the pictures that I took of the actual Bandai Tamashii Nation store when I was there in Japan recently, because that is massive. They had like a whole section just for Dragon Ball Z. Like, I mean, Jonathan would cream himself if he went there for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was really nice, well kept, clean. All right. So
they always are. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Tell us what do you got for us tonight?
All right. So we were. I mean, I've always known about Bandai, and never really had. I mean, I built Gunpla back in the day, but I've never really kind of had a figure that I'd use as like an articulated action figure. Okay. And like I loved watching Gundam back in the day, and I only got a couple of seasons in, like a couple of 8 seasons, probably up to Char's Attack or something, and kind of stopped there. And it's 90s, I think, right? And I know you've been talking about the recent one that came up as well, and I want to try and get back into it as well. But I'd like to continue on where I stopped, like around Zeta era. But when this came out, so I actually don't know when they brought this one out.
Robot Spirit's been around.
2018, you said?
Yeah, Robot Spirits have been around for a while.
Yeah. But I saw it kind of recently and it's kind of R&R over the last year or so. And when I had the opportunity in Thailand to grab it, I did. So I wasn't arming and arming out about it anymore. And yeah, we can go into the actual figure itself. Actually, I'll show you the box. The artwork's really nice. Did mention it's a Gundam Mark II Titans version.
This is
so
the RX1,
original.
by the way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And then the box is really nice. It's
Show us the back of the box.
as you'd expect.
Yeah, for all different poses.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And it shows you how to put all the little details on and all the accessories and not bad. But the figure itself, amazing.
Yeah.
She's beautiful. It just feels good. The plastic's good. The plastic's really nice. Stands well. You can place it, no worries. Any pose. The joints are a little soft, so I mean, like straight away he'd do the splits kind of thing. If you can see that, it's just out of camera. You know, legs are a little bit wobbly kind of thing. But she stands really well. It's fine. Not top heavy at all.
Tolerances are always good, I think, with those robot spirit stuff. Even though they're made of plastic, there's something that the Japanese do really well, and that are tolerances.
Yeah. So, like, you know, put his arm in any pose and it will sit there. Look at that. Even holding a bloody laser beam coming out of his gun, it's fine. You know. So it's just a solid.
Jonathan was saying my wallet's thankful we don't have a proper Tamashii store in Australia.
Well, it's coming, mate.
Actually, Adam Craig says I have a few of those in a box somewhere you can have if I find them, apparently. So.
Oh yeah, cool. No worries. That'd be great. I'll talk to you about that. Yeah, articulation is amazing. Any battle pose, beautiful.
Are they ratcheted? Those ones? They're not.
No,
they're not.
No.
Robot spirits, generally.
Yeah, it's the tolerances of the ball joints. Amazing.
Yeah.
Put it into any pose and it will stay there. You know, like, there's not many figures that can have this type of articulation, but then, you know, have the standing to actually stand in that pose. You know, I can put him on one leg and look at that. So he'll stand on one leg. You know?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
So what made you decide to buy that 178 Mark II? Was it because you
he's my favorite, mate.
Yeah.
He's my favorite. Like, I don't know, for anyone that, you know, grew up watching the originals and had that feeling of, you know, that Titans, like the opening scene, the Titans building this guy and going, yes, this is the new, you know, the new frame, the new Gundam, it's all new and lightweight, and they made it super mobile. So they, I think, removed armor from the legging and stuff like that. And yeah, it just had a really heartfelt kind of, yes, let's save the Earth Federation kind of feel, right? Against Sions. And yeah, mate, the reason I got this is because I have this, which I haven't built yet. This one's been sitting for a couple of years. Yeah, I've had this for a couple of years, man. I'm ashamed that I haven't built it yet. I've been doing Revel Star Wars. So I got a huge Slave One that I built. So that kind of took precedence.
Nice.
But I was super keen to kind of build this and have the action figure version, you know, Bandai Spirits to compare with.
I love it.
The other thing with this is that the accessories are phenomenal. I mean, this we've got sabers, you know, saber beams. I don't know if you can see that clearly.
Yeah, we can see.
Okay, you know, that sits in there perfectly. He's got jetpack jets, you know, and they're just really nice and crystal clear.
I gotta say, Robot Spirits always do such wonderful add-ons and accessories and, you know, ancillary things that you can even buy like separate packs. Like I know in the thumbnail I had like you know, like additional packs that you could buy for all your Robot Spirits stuff. It's amazing. It's like they just do it so well. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, accessories, mate. So I'm trying to tip this as far as I can, but it has 6 different hands. The other thing is that because there were a couple of versions of this, and you can name your favorite, so you can place whichever version you want on there. So I've got 1, 2, and 3. And that's easily taken off and placed and interchangeable. So there's 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So you could almost buy multiples and put them all on. 1, 2, and 3.
Army build. Yeah, if you wanted to. Yeah. But I mean, they didn't have to do that. You know, they could have just chosen one number variant and just given you that, and that's all it is. But they gave us all different ones. So yeah, it's just really nice. Yeah.
So how much did you pay for that retail, by the way? Do you remember?
You're looking at around $50 Aussie.
Yeah.
So it's 1,200 baht.
Yeah. That's actually quite cheap.
It's cheap.
Most retail for robot spirits here is between maybe the $60 to $70 mark. So that's great. $50.
Yeah. And then the other thing I wanted to show you, just to have a little
Holy dog.
Show and tell. Yeah, he's my big skull.
Yeah.
Bad boy.
That's a big boy.
Yeah. But you mentioned earlier, Clinton, in your opening speech, the art expression that toys and collectibles gives us. It's this for me. It's this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing, beautiful. Comes from comics, and it all kind of flows in together, doesn't it? Comics, cartoons, figures, all translates.
Well, the question is, are you doing Gundam shopping, Nathan Ashby? I mean, you're doing a bit of Big W toy shopping, a bit of light transport, but they go sure. I can feel you. Mandarake can have some great deals generally on robot spirits. Absolutely, Mandarake is the place to go to. If you can go to, Broadway, Nakano Broadway Shopping Center, they have a lot of the stores there, but the website's great too. I'm sure a lot of us on the show and people watching have shopped on Mandarake.
Yes.
Overall thoughts, Adam? Are you going to cream your pants?
Love it on my shelf with everyone else. Sits in well with everything. Sits in well with my Joy Toy mechas as well. Joy Toy mechs.
Speaking of Joy Toy mechs, we'll be getting some Joy Toy mechs pretty soon, I think.
Yeah. We should do another episode of Joy Toy.
No, we will, and we'll do those with also obviously. How can we not 40K Warhammer?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so you want to give us show us that box? That's a nice box. The presentations are always great with Robot Spirits. Very, very, very nice. I love it. Always.
Yeah. Sit well on the shelf.
I was surprised you didn't come back with more.
Me too.
Yeah. Surprised you didn't come back with more.
I traveled light. That's what it was. I traveled light, and and like Jonathan said, mate, your wallet, mate, like it's not like it was not like you're there and it was really cheap, like you might have seen that in Japan as well. It's not like it was dirt cheap, so you just get a whole stack of it or whatever. Still paying decent prices for it as well. I mean, $50 still for one figure.
Absolutely.
But I mean, they are accessible here, and I just wanted to give this guy a good go.
So you should.
And he's blew my mind. Yeah, he's blown my mind.
I mean, I'm looking over there now on the shelf, and I see a ton of Robot Spirits boxes. I mean, I really like to do a Japanese-inspired live stream one night just on more Gundam stuff. I have the fixed figuration metal composite stuff as well, which is great, which is about yay big. They're larger scale. And again, there's so much to cover with Robot Spirits. Maybe we should do more of those. Actually, I like to actually, like I said, do a Japanese theme inspired live stream one night, just talking about Gundam and talking about Godzilla and kaiju's. You know, like that whole stuff.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be cool. When I build this big guy, I'll let you know.
Yeah, please, because you have to build Gunpla, right? That's what you got to do. And like I said, it's such a joy to. I personally don't have the patience to build them, but man, power to you. So you should.
I used to build model planes when I was younger.
Hey,
so
that's
I had all
pretty
this
cool.
new stuff. Yeah. So it's pretty natural. I mean, I've got all the knives and the glue and everything, and the paint. So pretty natural. But yeah, I've been into figures lately. It means all the work's been done for you. Very keen to build these two.
Cool. All right, nice. We have more from Adam later, but what we'll do is we'll throw over now to on the topic of Bandai and Tamashii Nations. If you guys recall watching our stream from the US of A recently, I found a Grail piece from Mezco, and that was an Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark figure. Now, there's contention in the toy collecting industry that, which is the ultimate 1/12 scale figure. And I think Hasbro do a really good job for what they cost. Obviously, Mezco is more premium and they have lots of soft goods. The one thing I will say about soft goods and that I do not like is when they start using pleather and they start flaking off. So in terms of shelf life, sometimes they aren't necessarily the best. But then you have Bandai in terms of Tamashii Nations or SH Figure Arts that give you premium figures at relatively the price between, let's say, Hasbro, or even not a bit more than Hasbro, but then also a lot less than your Mezcos. So I did buy the Mezco one, but then I have to say when I brought this back from Japan, this is something that we've featured on several live streams, but I never got around to actually unboxing it. And tonight, we're going to sip on that and we're going to unbox that because, homage to Tamashii Nations. This can you see that? This is the Bandai SH Figure Arts Indiana Jones Raiders of the Lost Ark 2023 figure. Retail release on the 28th of October 2023 under the Bandai Spirits Tamashii Nations brand, part of the mainstream non-web exclusive SH Figure Arts line. Stands roughly at about 150 mil, or what would probably more exact be about 5.9 centimeters. And this is true 1/12 scale built in PVC plus ABS. There is also argument and contention about scaling because really when you think about 6-inch and people feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but I got to say when Tamashii Nations or Figure Arts make 1/12 scale, they're actually true 1/12 scale. So they're actually generally slightly smaller. When you look at some of the 6-inch things like the Hasbro line or maybe some of the, they tend to be, they're more like borderlining on like a 1/11 or 1/10 scale. Hence, when you get certain vehicles that are in 1/10 scale, they scale quite nicely with 6-inch figures. So you'll notice that a lot of Japanese figures like these are generally smaller. If you look at the Star Wars SH Figure Arts line, comparatively to the Hasbro stuff, they're just at any bitty sort of just slightly smaller than a lot of the 6-inch. So fantastic. I'll turn the box around. You can see this, very screen accurate sculpt and paint. I've got to say, digital face print captures Harrison Ford's likeness. He's got the chin scars, the aged leather tones on jacket, weathered fedora brim. And he has 2 extra face plates. He's got like a natural sort of natural look and then a teeth sort of grit look, plus a hatless hair piece that allow very quick expression swaps. So you can actually swap the expressions as well. So what I would like to do is I'd like to swap cameras and see if I can go to this one. And I'm going to unbox this guy.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let's have a look, baby. Let's have a look. Let's do this. Yeah. I got my top-down camera. I'm going to obviously do the honors. Again, once you can see, like you can see again here, you got the figure in its pose. You have him and his nonchalant sort of vibe here, and then obviously you got like different head sculpts, but and all these accessories here as well. So let's have a look. I generally find them quite cumbersome, and particularly with the with all the different accessories they come with. You normally or generally should actually have all your Bandai figures set in a container somewhere that you can store safely, so that you don't lose all these pieces as well. He's got an accessory arsenal. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this open without making sure that shit flies everywhere, because it generally does. Let's see here.
Hey, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think he wore that suit through the whole movie, right?
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm just focusing on trying to make sure that none of this shit goes flying. And I'm just going to open them up, and then I'm going to basically, there we go. Okay. I'm sure you can see those, right? You can see that, right? How lovely is that? So
Beautiful.
You got the figure, but as far as the accessory arsenal is concerned, it is loaded. It is absolutely loaded. Maybe not as much as the Mezco's, but it sort of recreates the opening temple sequence, except maybe maybe you don't have the pedestal, but you have, first of all, you have here something where you have the coiled. So you got a coiled and an unfurried sort of bullwhip with a belt clip. So you got the belt clips here. You got the Chachapoyan golden idol, which is something that I also recently bought in the US. I got a prop maker over there, and he takes scans of the original prop. So I actually have this in life size, but this is wonderful. You got the golden idol, and then you have the weighted sandbag, which is very, very cool. I like the weighted sandbag. You can see that. Very nice, right? So that's always a nice touch. And then you have the Staff of Ra headpiece, which is just here, right? The Sunbeam mat room prop, when he takes the pole and he puts it into the mat room, which is very nice. You have a web belt holster sidearm, which is a Colt revolver. So you got the holster here, and then you have the Colt firearm here, and then also the shoulder satchel. This is I actually have, believe it or not, a replica of this satchel that I bought from a company, an Australian company called Jack Stillman. I recently posted it up on one of my socials, and this is an old sort of World War II gas mask kind of bag, but they've done it very nicely as well, and that's very cool. And you also have all the swappable heads, faces, the different things. You got the shirt only, for example, for arms, or the jacket look. You can take this off, so you can swap this and take the jacket off and just have him without the jacket. You got 3 pairs of hands. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you have a spare whip strap as well. So it's pretty cool. I mean, as far as I would say a moderate amount that you pay. I wouldn't say too much money. I think I paid something like about just exactly $100 after conversion.
Okay.
So AUD $100 for a SH Figure Arts is actually pretty good. Now, with the engineering articulation, as always, with Figure Arts, it's pretty mind-blowing. We're looking at, like, for example, 30-point system. As far as articulation is concerned, you got ball and neck head joints. You got, I think you got butterfly shoulders here as well, which is nice. You got maybe a single hinge. I think this is a single hinge. Yeah, it's a single hinge elbow. And then knees that still clear roughly about 90 degrees, I think. Yeah, that's good. That's more than 90 degrees. Look at that. Yeah. Right? So you got a dual ball torso. You got rock ankles. I mean, that's quite a lot of rocking on there. Very nice. The joints are very tight. They hold very nice dynamic poses. You can pose them in different ways, but generally without wobble. You can't feel any wobble. I mean, obviously, if I'm holding him from this, I mean, even if I'm holding him from his knee, he's not going to flop. But feels very premium, obviously, and this is what you pay for as well. And yeah, the like I said, the jacket arm swap is seamless as well. So I'm not going to take this off now, but as you can see here, you can take those 2 arms and swap it and take the jacket off. So that's pretty cool. Its display presence is fantastic. I think there is overall more of a matte finish. Actually, I need to take this. There's a plastic. Look at even the way they ship the figure. There's always this protective plastic that they insert into some of the joints, which is pretty cool. Let's have a look here. We got a couple of comments. Gee, that indie looks amazing. It is certainly a very, very nice figure. Something about it, like I said, the likeness is very, very nice. Look at that. I'm going to try and see if I can put it in frame just here. I had the old Figma Indiana Jones, and this looks way better than that was. Yeah, I recall that actually. I was for years actually searching for that particular figure, and then decided that I was going to give it a miss. And I'm kind of glad that I did, because, you know, I bought this, and I actually bought this before I actually found that Grail piece, which was the Mezco one. The jury's still out when it comes to soft goods. I don't know. I'm still sitting on the fence for that one as well, because, like I said, there are a ton of problems with flaking. Good to see that SH Figure Arts can do good realistic head sculpts. I only have the anime figures, absolutely, and Rob goes, the Indiana Jones figure looks fantastic. Look forward to seeing the pics that you take of this figure. I got to tell you, Rob, it's been a long time since I've actually taken photos. I did a lot of it while we were in COVID, but it's been eluding me a lot now because I'm so busy with work. I have to even try and find the time. I do miss taking photos and making some beautiful, gorgeous toy photography. I'll show you the heads quickly. You can have a look here. Very nice, kind of nice head sculpts. You can see, gorgeous, just wonderful.
You can see a golden idol.
The golden idol is good. I really like that thing, and like I said, I have a replica of it now in 1:1 scale. So I'm very, very, very chuffed about that.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so, you know, like I said, it has a very nice display presence, matte finish, subtle kind of wash on the boots and the jacket. Kind of sells, I think, the lived-in kind of wear and tear. Yeah, I don't like anything that's too glossy, but this is generally quite nice. Works with Tamashii Nation's stage clips for sort of mid-swing diorama setups. So if you have any sort of diorama setups that you wanna do, you can certainly put them on those display stands. Couple of minor quibbles, I think, personally, for me, just looking at it. The revolver doesn't really, from what I can gather, if I put it in the holster, which I open up, I have a suspicion that this doesn't really quite sit in the holster, and I don't want to fuck around with it because I don't know. I feel like that might be an issue. And some reports of paint rub also on some of the metallic parts is a problem. And the other issue I have with this is, again, the premium price. And at the time, like I said, when I bought this in Japan, it was roughly, or it actually equated to about just 100 AUD. At the time they released this, and I don't know why, you would pay between 9,350 yen to about 10,000 yen. So that would be roughly around 80 to 100 US dollars. And it kind of sits, like I said, well above the Hasbro Adventure series, but it brings a superior sort of likeness and extras, in my opinion, when it comes to that figure comparatively. So the verdict for me, definitely, I would say, I haven't unboxed the Mezco one yet, but I've again seen really nice reports, and probably we will do that. But I would say that if you were to buy, if you want to buy the definitive 6-inch indie, this would be the guy to go to. Major, like I said, if you look here, the rich accessory loadout, massive accessory loadout, strong likeness, and a ton of articulation really makes this the go-to Raiders figure, despite some of the small little things like maybe the gun not going to holster, etc., etc. I actually have handled this figure before, so I know exactly what this is. So there you go. There you go, gents. That is the when I say unboxed, I've kind of unboxed it, but kind of left it in a tray as well. But feel free, if anyone wants to see a bit more of that, I can certainly take him out. But there you go.
Sweet.
Thanks.
Indiana Jones Figure Arts, very, very cool, very impressed. And I do, like I said, like the I like this guy, man. He's fantastic. I love the Golden Idol.
And
now
I I like how they give
Australian
you
Idol.
extra arms. I like how they're giving you extra arms, and you can take the jacket off. Like phenomenal.
Yeah.
Good on them.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, exactly. You can take, and like I said, everything also tolerances are very, very good, right? So it's amazing. I just love everything that Figure Arts do. Nathan Ashby goes, God, that indie looks fantastic. Yes, it does. I slimed myself already. I wonder if they'll make a Blade Runner Decker figure. Now, if they did that, Rob,
Mate,
I would be fucking so over it.
I'm in for Blade Runner.
All over it, man. All over it. You know what? I feel like they should be making a Decker figure plus in the whole cast of characters. Like, that would be a dream. I really do hope that they will do that. But saying that, also, I wish Tamashii Nations or SH Figure Arts actually make the Dune figures, right? The Denis Villeneuve sort of the modern day interpretations of the movie. They'll be freaking awesome as well. Why do you think indie toy lines never succeeded? Hasbro tried in 3/3/4 inch and 6 inch and both sort of fizzled. I think as much as there was mass appeal during the time we were growing up, or I was growing up, and with Spielberg and Lucas doing all that stuff. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I know the adventures.
It could be.
Yeah.
It could be the Nazis.
Well, in a society now that's so politically correct, and we have
No. I was making the joke like the actual Nazis are stopping it, but now that I said that, I'm just like, oh, there you go. It's probably actually because of that. Now, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's depressing. That's depressing to think of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I don't know. The Adventure series tanked. I really wanted more. But yeah, they just tanked, and they went to bargain bins at JB Hi-Fi after a while. So that was really sad. So, I don't know. I couldn't tell you, Craig. Jason goes, yes, they could go for anything now that they have Harrison Ford's likeness, I'm sure. And have they done Han Solo in SH Figure Arts? They have. They have done A New Hope, and they've done various iterations of Han Solo in SH Figure Arts. So there you go. Okay, cool. That's enough of me. Let's go to Mikey Siciliano. Tell us, what do you got, baby?
Hello, friends. Yes, last week our very own Jason Murray touched on this set, but he only touched on one of the figures in here, and I think the other one in here deserves a spotlight as well. Before we go on, I want to point out the box, because we talked about how good that Gundam box was. They've gone above and beyond for this thing. Firstly, this is a slipcover on this thing, and then everything's embossed. So everything's actually raised. So all the Optimus and Starscream, even the pictures, the product pictures on the backs are embossed as well. So that's a lot, and all like this steampunk stuff is embossed as well. That's really nice. And it's a slipcover. So we slip it off, and then we have the box, which is just really nice. It's got this amazing detail all the way around, Autobot and Decepticon for which figure it's housing. It just looks really nice. And then opens up like a book. You got giant Transformers there. You got Cybertronian. I'm assuming that would be Cybertronian for Optimus and Starscream. I don't know. I don't speak Cybertronian. Yeah, you've got the Decepticon symbol in the background there. This is crazy amount of detail for a box. And I can't think of the last time they went above and beyond like this for this thing. So this is the first in the line of the Timelines figures. So Timelines is a line where each year we're going to be getting two packs of deluxes. So you're going to get Optimus and Starscream in one box, and then Bumblebee and Megatron in another box through a comic timeline. So this time it's Hearts of Steel. And Jason says he thinks the Cybertronian text says Hearts of Steel. That probably makes sense.
Thanks, Jason.
Yeah, this crate, like, this is really nice, and they are two deluxes, but you can get this set for as low as $75. And what I'm about to go into, and I think that's a steal. I got this for $80 from Zing. And so that's roughly 2 deluxes. Deluxes can range from 40 to 45, so it's already kind of a deal. And these are 2 completely unique molds. Apparently, they're never going to be redone. They're only going to do these 4 figures each year for a year. Optimus, Megatron, Bumblebee, Starscream. And this is the first part that has been released now. So box, amazing. So the figures. So Jason last week talked about Optimus Prime. He's amazing. The painting, sculpting, everything, his weapon, the fact that he successfully uses his funnel or spout thing as the gun is awesome, and then the top of the roof of the cab of the train as a shield is really cool. Articulation top notch, and is just a genuinely fun transformer, and has been stated this is one of the best head sculpts I've seen in a while, and it's also very expressive. It can do anything you want emotive wise. So Optimus, awesome. But we saw him last week. The other guy that came in this set is your Starscream.
What came today?
Yeah.
So these 2 packs. So this came in same set. Yeah. Starscream. So this is the Hearts of Steel Starscream. Yeah, he's just a really cool design. So some people, weirdly enough, have complained that he has been designed to have this thing as kind of a hood over the head of the robot. But in all of the media that I've seen, this is how he's designed. So you can actually store this back and like compress it to the back and have it without the hood. But I actually like it as it's intended because that's how it's supposed to look. I think we had a comment on the head sculpt. Yes, the head sculpt can't smile, so it can't do everything I want, Mikey. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. But yeah, the head's really nice. The sculpting on these things, they've got like rivets because they're supposed to be like steampunky designs. They've got all these rivets down them, and they feel really good to the touch. Spinning rotor blades and everything. He's got his null rays, as you'd expect. He looks good from each angle. He's got like a back skirt and a front skirt. So it's kind of medieval type of look. He's solid, like nothing's going anywhere when you shake him. Like on both of them, they're completely solid. There's nothing going on there. And yeah, he's just painted well, articulation, really good. And it's just a nice 2-pack, and I'm just really excited for the Megatron, because the Megatron turns into like a cannon emplacement, so he's kind of like a gun Megatron almost. And Bumblebee also turns into a nice little steam train, just like Optimus does. Yeah, but this guy, it poses well, does everything you'd need him to do at deluxe scale. Here's what they look like together. So there you go. Just really cool designs, toys that I'd never think we'd ever get, but hey, who knows what we'll get in the next couple of years with this new line, this new timeline line. And yeah, like I prefer them to be Voyager probably, but just because they're their own little thing, I don't mind them all being deluxes, and like they'll all kind of be in scale with each other at the end of the day. And yeah, it's might be a shame that we might never see Skywarp or Thundercracker from this mold. I think they'd be stupid not to. I think Hasbro did say if these 2 sets, so the 2 timelines, 2 sets, if they do sell well, they will consider doing other characters in that timeline. And the big character that we all want is a Shockwave, because he turns into this massive steamboat. And his design generally is really cool. And then Jason thinks we might get a Gen Select Skywarp and Thundercracker 2-pack. That's very much a possibility, because when was the last time Hasbro released a Seeker and they didn't do a repaint of it? I can't remember a time. But yeah, look, if you can, if I were you, if you're interested in this set of these 2, definitely go out there and get it now, because I can only see them skyrocketing in price when they actually leave the stores, just because they are that good. They're fun, they're good, their QC is high. I've transformed them both. And what I'm actually going to do, and what I'm going to try and do in the future on this show, because Transformers are Transformers, they transform, right? And I tend to not show the alternate mode on the show. So what I'm going to do is, you've had a look at them in robot mode now. Fantastic. Go out and get them. If you can get them for 75, steal, $80, bargain. But get them before they're gone, because then the Megatron Bubble Bee set will come out, and then if you don't have these, then you're not unlucky. What I'm going to do is, we're going to move on to the next segment. I'm going to be in the background transforming these two figures so we can show them side by side in their steampunk modes. And but what I can say, just from transforming them and just fiddling with them tonight, like I literally only opened them tonight, brought them to Nelson Bay and opened them. Fun figures, worth the money. Get them before they sell out. Try not to spend over $100 on them, because they will go up in price.
$75, you said?
75 from Gamesman, but then you have to pay shipping unless you actually physically go to Gamesman and actually lucky enough to get it from the store in store, which who knows. Or $80 from Zing and EB, which are a lot more common. They should be everywhere. Even adding shipping onto it, if the shipping is like $10, I still think it's worth it. Like not like $90 for these two figures where you're not going to get anywhere else, and then just the quality that they are. Personally, I think they're worth it.
Very cool.
Very good advice. So there you go, guys. We have a very chuffed little fella there in Nelson Bay tonight.
Chuffed with my choo-choo, because this guy's a choo-choo train, and he's Thomas, so very, very chuffed with my choo-choo.
All right. Well, you go and do the transformation, and then I want to quickly also give a shout out to Sugo Toys tonight. So because we are on the topic of Tamashii Nations and Bandai as well, and obviously the Transformers, I think Yellow Park makes some really good stuff that's available at Sugo Toys. We're offering a discount code tonight, and before we tell you what the discount code is, we also have to say thank you very much and thank these guys for bringing very nice discounts to all our viewers. We'll be right back in a second.
This episode of Toy Reel is proudly brought to you by Sugo Toys.
And if you look at you have Toy Reel June, 10% off all Bandai products site-wide, including pre-orders, valid until the end of June. So make sure, if you see any Robot Spirits, Tamashii Nations, or Bandai figures, you will get a 10% until the end of June. And if you can claim it on your tax, if that's your line of work, then make sure you buy all that shit before the end of June. Before tax.
I was fortunate enough to use a tutorial code for purchasing my my Yellow Park figures, and they all came in, and they're all really beautiful. And as I just
waiting on one more, right?
Yeah. Well, one of them was delayed. But that's all right. But Yellow Park stuff is really, really cool, guys. Like for someone who's not really into model kits and stuff, it's not really model kits. They're very basic to put together. Again, like I put together one when we were streaming. They're really fun. They're really basic, but they're very posable, and they make amazing action figures. So if you can get them, definitely get them off. Get them with this code off of Sugo.
Sugo. Yeah, I recommend people watch that episode on the Yellow Park. Okay, Adam, what's next, buddy?
Okay, so alongside Mr. Mark II, I did get one other figure. I caught him in the sort of corner of my eye and went, nah, got to get him. Have to get him. There is a reason for it, but I'll show you what this guy is. So I think he's one of the earlier figures. They had a couple of them that were on a slight sale. It was a little bit cheaper. I think this is like it would have been about $35-40.
Mm-hmm.
But same type of figure, just really nice articulation and everything. But he is a stray red. They have a couple of different colors. Gold, I think, blue. I'm not sure if they make. I don't think Bandai Spirits make the other colors. I've only ever seen red. Correct me if I'm wrong, Craig. You might see it. Yeah, buddy, red astray. He's just beautiful. He's really nice. He's got a kind of like samurai-ish kind of vibe to him. Again, from Seed, from the Seed era. I think it was like an offshoot, and he had like a cameo. So, very cool. Very cool looking figure. Same articulation, same ball joint designs, and just really nice feel. Again, everything just moves really nice. His waist and ball joints a little bit more solid than Mark II. I don't know why. It just feels a little heavier, feels a little weightier, a little bit more solid. A bit more kind of armor and everything to him. I wasn't really. I mean, I'm a little bit upset that he's just a little bit feels a little bit more solid than my my favorite. But he's an amazing kind of action Bandai Spirits action figure. Beautiful sword.
Yeah, the sword guy.
Just it aligns well with the size of the figure and everything. Really nice detail, like little details on the hilt and everything. Very cool figure. Has two little ones on his back.
And a lot of the robot spirit stuff generally come also with parts that are painted already. Oh, that's a nice sword.
Yeah. Just little. I can't really. I don't think his camera's picking that up very well, but just really nice detail. Like it's a hint of gold on the tips and the hilt and everything. But just painted really nice. Like you said, with your Indiana Jones figure as well, everything's just, the paint is just immaculate. This guy, just the premium paint feel, really nice. I don't even have to do any weathering on him or anything. It just feels amazing. Yeah, I might do some panel lining on it.
You could panel line, and you could also put it like a black wash. And maybe you could there's so many things you could literally do with robot spirits if you incline that way.
Yeah. So the reason he picked him up was because he looks like old mate Jetfire.
Yeah.
No, very cool. Side by side.
Yeah, good.
Very, very cool. We'll have a look at the box art as well.
Yeah, let's look at the box art.
Something did happen, and I wasn't going to mention it, but I will mention it. Something happened with this figure. I'll tell you. But here's the box art anyway. Just so
and this was another pickup. And this was another pickup from Thailand, right?
Yeah. So I did get the two. Yeah, I did get the two. And they did take up a lot of my light luggage. Space. Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Cool box art. Cool box.
Very cool.
But what I did want to tell you was I did something I'm ashamed of with this figure. I wasn't happy with. So with the Mark II, you can actually remove this little headpiece is interchangeable, so you can actually I can take it off. I'm not going to now. Here we go. All right, here we go. So I can take the headpiece off. Okay. Yeah. So I opened this guy up first. I was like, oh, this is really cool. Mucked around with him, did everything with him, pulled his headpiece off, and went, yeah, this is really cool because I get another one in there, which I'm not going to find now. So then I opened my Red Astray up and went, oh, cool, removable headpiece, but it's not. So it was glued in. It was glued in. Yeah, I know.
And you tried to rip it off.
Yeah, I just ripped it off. But the glue was pretty lightweight. Like it was very rubbery. So it was kind of like, it's kind of moving. It's kind of moving. And then I realized that it was actually glue and I ruined it. So it's okay. Can re-glue it back on. She'll be right. But
Adam, they did one of the white strays, but not the blue one, according to Craig. And he said that they did the red, blue, and gold ones in the Metal Bill series.
Metal Build. Okay, yeah, cool. Yeah, I don't think
Yep.
they've got it in Bandai Spirits here. But I was just happy to get the red anyway. It's beautiful. It is really cool, guys.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, such a shame. I can glue it back on. It just, irks me that I'm actually destroying my figures. So it's not. It wasn't fun.
You can destroy them all you want.
No, I don't want to. My figures are immaculate. Yeah, I think
Cool.
I think this guy will have a little bit of weathering, and I'll panel on Mark II. But he deserves a bit of weathering. But yeah,
Definitely.
same deal. Yeah,
Nice.
same
Very
deal.
good.
Can stand. Yeah, well, he can. But yeah.
So if you want to buy all your Tamashii Nations and Bandai stuff, make sure you use toyreel June code, 10% off all Bandai products site-wide on Sugo Toys, including pre-orders. And this offer is available until the end of June. So speaking of Bandai, BM project, I'm not sure if anyone knows that, but I want to tease something, Adam. I want to tease something that we are going to do. Actually, before I do that, I think perhaps one of the most viewed videos on our channel, if you recall, is actually the unboxing for the Batmobile in 1/6 scale. Recently, I acquired, believe it or not, the 1/6 scale Canada bike by BM Project, which was the revival version for 2021. And this thing looks phenomenal. I actually currently have it here. I was like, the box is that big, so I wasn't going to actually physically pull it and put it on the table because I think that itself deserves an actual review itself. So I'm going to show you what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So this is the Bandai Soul of the Popinica Project BM Canada's motorcycle revival version, now sold out, but freaking incredible. Like, I cannot tell you how excited I am that I physically have it in hand at the moment. It is incredible. It is incredible. Beg your pardon. It is incredible. It's
got all the advertising on it.
Huh?
You see all the advertising on it? Beautiful.
It is incredible. Like all the advertising on it. Like I'll try and see if I can maybe get to another version. It's completely die cast, right? Look at that light up. It's also
so you get the LED lighting.
Yeah. So basically, the line and branding, it's cross-branded Project BM. Because it's they're doing a cross thing with the Soul of Popinica vehicle series under the Tamashii Nations brand. It was a pre-order thing, and just to give you a bit of a background with this particular thing, there was a pre-order shelf date, and it opened in I think it was in January 2021, and the Japanese release of this was the 29th of May in 2021, which was like essentially 11 years after the initial 2010 debut. The price at the launch for this revival one was roughly about 54,000 yen. So between 620 to 700 AUD and roughly about 500 USD. Now, the scale and size, obviously 1/6 scale, true 1/6 scale, about 500 mil long. It's engineered in ABS, PVC, and die-cast metal for the frame, and then it kind of gives you that sort of real-world heft as well when it comes to the bike itself. It actually has power electronics in it, so it takes like 3 AAA batteries. It has LEDs in the headlight, indicators, dash and tail. It has internal speakers that plays like the engine rev and the brakes squeal from sound effects from the actual anime cartoon itself, and it actually can be then routed via the wheel to an external speaker for hi-fi playback. It's incredible. Like, I mean, I knew about this. I missed out on the original 2010 debut. I missed out on this 2021 release, which was the revival version, but I managed to find one on Marketplace. And thanks to this guy all the way in Perth, I got it, paid, a decent amount of money for it, but it wasn't too exorbitant. And I finally have one in hand. So this for me is a grail piece. And this is something that I really, really want to do a proper sit-down review for. That's the BM Project 1/6 scale figure, which I am not getting. And there's a reason why I'm not getting that, because now present toys make a more updated version of Kaneda. So, it's incredible. Long sold out. And obviously from Sugo, but if you can find anything on the secondary market, I highly recommend it. Great features, chrome plated working front suspensions with all these telescoping forks as well. So you got then, they literally have like a suspension. Like I said, I'll go through all this when I do the review. It's got like an opening headlamp shutter, and then like there's also like a magnet held removable body panels for maintenance display. So you literally could like take out all the panels themselves. They're like rolling wheels. You got axle caps. What else do you have? You got all the sponsor decals as well. Canon, Shoei, Arai. I just don't know how they do it. Like with all these sponsors, I mean, you would have to pay a fortune now to actually have some of these brand decals on there. As far as like the whole entire pack-in is concerned, you have something like 14 detachable cowl cover parts, display stand, sound patch cables, etc. Like just a ton of things. Like for me, this is the quintessential bike that you need. And why is this significant? I think this particular bike is super significant because personally, I think this is the benchmark. It is the absolute benchmark for a 1/6 scale vehicle. The original 2010 release was the first mass-produced, fully lit and sounded die-cast anime motorcycle at this scale, providing collectors that would kind of support what they would define as prop replica engineering in traditional toy lines, right? So the 2021 revival kept the tooling alive for like this new generation, and then immediately it just sold out. So like I said, I missed out on that. So it kind of reaffirms the demand for this particular toy. I think where Bandai also done really well is there's a fusion of figure and vehicle expertise. I think when it comes to that sort of stuff. Now, you got Medicom's posable Project BM stuff and like I said, the Kaneda figure, tooling with Bandai's kind of die-cast Poponica heritage. The bike kind of showcase, this sort of cross-company collaboration inside Bandai spirits, and also kind of set the template for later premium vehicle figure combinations and bundles, such as, if anyone recall, Trigun's Planet bikes, and we had the Macross 1/6 scale Valkyrie cockpit displays as well. Those are very, very, very popular. So, it's sort of an elevated adult kind of price ceiling, because at 54,000 yen, it's kind of set far above the typical action figure sort of SROP price, yet still kind of move very quickly because people will just buy people with dispensable income. And this kind of, I think, signaled to a lot of manufacturers that the ultra premium anime faithful vehicles could thrive at this sort of luxury price point. So then this kind of led to fueling projects like 3Zero's EVA entry plug, and also, if you recall correctly, Hot Toys also did their version of the Tron light cycle. I'm not sure if anyone remembers the Tron light cycle. So to me, I think this toy or this figure, not this figure, beg your pardon, this bike, this 1/6 scale bike, packed with features, lights up, battery operated, incredible, is really a pop culture icon immortalized. Like, I mean, if you look at Katsushiro Otomo's red bike, is as synonymous with cyberpunk as the DeLorean, is with sci-fi cinema. So I think delivering sort of a museum grade replica kind of, I think, personally cemented Tamashii Nation's reputation as the custodian, I think, of anime mechanical design, further legitimizing adult collector toys as a serious design sector. So Right now, this has the aftermarket Grail status. To me, I got my Grail piece. This is one of my biggest Grail pieces. Secondary prices routinely, I think, exceed now roughly above $1,000 US, and the piece is frequently cited, I kid you not, in the top 10 Holy Grail collectibles list of all time. Proof that its lasting cultural cachet and sort of Bandai's role in shaping modern collector appetite. So stay tuned, guys. This is going to be, it has to be one of those reviews that I'm going to basically do very soon. You know, you look at a decade on, Kaneda's bike remains the gold standard for large-scale anime vehicles. A lavish fusion of die-cast heft, I think, functional gimmicks, cinematic presence, all that sort of stuff that still influences how I think the industry approaches like high-end adult collector engineering today. So, man, I am so pumped for this. Anyway, so pumped. So pumped.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
Very cool.
Yes, I will remove this now and speak to you. So there you go. Come on, where is everyone else? Let's go. There we go.
Hello.
So we got a couple of comments. Let's have a look at the comments. We have Marketplace, where's bed? This looks so good. Imagine the photos, and yes, it does. It's gonna look. It actually looks more stunning in real life. The Akira manga is one of the top 10 comics series of all time. Okay. Stay tuned, by the way, for that, because that is going to be awesome. Cool.
Very Tron Light Cycle.
Tron Light Cycle Hot Toys. Amazing. Yeah, amazing.
I think there's a new Tron movie coming out soon.
Yeah. What's it called?
Let's see some high-end stuff come from that.
By the way, speaking of Gundam, Principality of Zeon.
Not bad.
Gotta fly the flag. Gotta fly the flag, guys. Gotta fly the flag. Okay. I'm gonna do one more Tamashii Nations, and then we're gonna go over to Mikey and see how he's traveled with his transformation. But this guy, ooh-wee. I don't know. Is Talon actually in backstage or not? He obviously isn't. Tamashii Nations, JK, Jamiroquai, Virtual Insanity, SH Figure Arts figure. Very, very, very iconic. I mean, if you're into music, you love this stuff. I had to pick him up. You know, one of the things I love about Tamashii Nations and Figure Arts, or SH Figure Arts as well, or Bandai, is that they always ship in these really nice shipper boxes, like really tough cardboard, you know? They don't fuck around. So it's very nice. And this guy, I had to get him because I'm a big music fan. How many of you guys, I mean, I'm sure, man, if you guys haven't heard of Jamiroquai, you're living under a rock.
I'm sure everyone knows about it. I remember you were super excited about getting this one. Jamiroquai.
Can you name some of their songs?
Virtual Insanity. What else?
There you go. There you go.
There you go.
No, I want to know if I know any of them, because I'm sorry, I'm not sure that I do.
Really?
Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't know Jamiroquai. Wow.
No.
Okay,
Wow.
well, I have to send you some links to the music. It's fantastic.
Okay, cool.
It's very
Okay.
It's very kind of like acid jazz, you know, massive in the 90s. Yeah. Where the pre-order opened 16th of June 2023. First shipment shipped in November 2023 in Japan, with a wider import drop in February 2024 in the Western countries. Once again, 1/12 scale, 15 centimeters, 5.9 tall, ABS and PVC build, roughly 9,000 yen at the time of release, which was roughly about $65 US at launch. Spot on sculpt and costume fidelity, fantastic, very, very good. I'm going to see if I can open this guy and tell you what he can look like. I mean, the box is, I don't even know. I mean, look. Let's have a look. Yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look.
Really, Jason? Jason said he feels like he was looking for this figure years ago for you.
Jamiroquai?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Maybe you were. Maybe you were. Oh man, look at this, baby. That looks sensational. Sensational. I mean, the likeness. That's the thing I gotta give. I gotta give Bandai, SH Figure Arts, kudos. This is incredible. Look at this stuff. Like I said, if you are a Jamiroquai fan, spot on sculpt, spot on the costume, digital face print nails JK's features and trademark, and his side smirk. Got his side smirk over here. You got his swappable head over here. Kind of like a textured black faux fur hat. So you got it like a geometric jacket and platform shoes. Yeah, all right. Faithfully matching the Virtual Insanity music video wardrobe. Then you got the accessory packs that recreate, I think, in the back here, where he does the slide thing. I think it's back here. Yeah, I think I'm not going to turn that over, but apparently there's a floor that you can kind of recreate that sort of platform when he does that whole dance thing. 2 swappable face plates. Obviously, this one here and this one here. Neutral and singing, and then you have 3 left hands. Right hands and left hands for gestures. 3 papercraft sofas. The back here, 2 single ones and 1 3-seater. I don't think there's anything else in the box. There's nothing else in the box. To stage sort of like the sliding sofa gag in the music video, and then you have like a bonus microphone and clear logo base for display as well, which is in the back. Yeah. So engineering articulation. Always very synonymous, once again, with Bandai. I think it's fantastic. You can see here. They always ship with these plastic bits and pieces. What else? Engineering articulation. Yeah, butterfly shoulders, double hinge elbows and knees, ball torso, rocker ankles. Give this enough range for knee slides as well as full tilt poses as well. Soft suit plastic. Yeah, very cool. Very nice presence, very good likeness. Again, I'll show you if you can see. Let me see if I can get it. There we go. Very cool.
Very nice.
I think this figure captures the Virtual Insanity vibe in a desk-friendly footprint. That personally, if you ask me. I'm going to try and see if I can get over to this camera over here and put him up here. I should probably take the plastic pieces off, but I can't be bothered. But anyway.
Yeah. It's my show and I'll do what I want.
Yeah. So very, 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 very cool. Pop star plastic. That's what I reckon. Entry well worth hunting if you're a Jamiroquai fan, or you just want some 90s funk on your collector's shelf.
Hey, have you opened your Daft Punk set?
I have. In fact, the Daft Punk set is up there.
Oh, that could be a cool photo.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly. It's just in.
You could put all your favorites in one shot.
Absolutely. So there you go. Well, that is plenty of Bandai Tamashii Nation stuff tonight.
Plenty.
Fantastic. Plenty. And yeah. So okay. Let's look at some comments. Before we move on, we have. I showed Amelia the Virtual Insanity music video for the first time. I hope she likes it, because that is one cool music video. You recognize the songs, but it's hard to call them mine. I feel like I was looking for this figure for you years ago, probably. It's not often that you get action figures of musicians. Jamiroquai is pretty special and pretty cool. He certainly is. And I will try and recreate that. It'd be really nice to have like an album cover or something with the actual album itself and have him pose and do his vibe or his dances, you know. Yeah, it's very cool. And will you put him on the shelf with your Daft Punk figures? Now there's a musical mashup I like to hear. Dude, I mean, that would be freaking phenomenal. Imagine if Jamiroquai and Daft Punk got together. That would be
Imagine if
awesome.
Daft Punk got back together. Now I'm sad.
I know, man. I know. Cool. All right. Well, that's this guy, Jamiroquai. This guy, nice. Jamiroquai. Very happy, man. I like the hat. I
like the felt hat.
Yeah. I really should pull all these things off, but I'm not going to, because I'm going to leave him in the box for now, and then I will spend another night where I'll sit down with a glass of port and a cigar maybe, and just slowly take him apart and put accessories on, take them off. But there you go. Okay, Mikey, we are going to come back to you to show us what you have finally been able to do.
So this is the second part of Jason's figure that he did the other week. This is Optimus Prime. This is the
cool.
This is the train mode.
Definitely Thomas.
Yeah,
Thomas.
like Thomas the Tank Engine's little train.
Thomas.
I think he's pretty cool. Like, it's very cheapified. Could definitely do with the rest of the train, like that, because the rest of the tender or whatever it was called opened up and became this like battle platform and had roller in it and everything, but budgets and everything. Unfortunately, he has the common issue where this panel doesn't stay down quite right. If there's a fix to that, I'd like to know, because then this thing would be pretty much perfect. But unfortunately, see, as you can see, this bit kind of doesn't stay down, and it kind of just pops back up. Other than that, he's pretty cool. The funnel thing becomes the gun becomes the funnel or whatever it's called, and then you've got the shield becomes the roof of the cab. It has 4 rolling wheels and 2 faux wheels, and then 1 middle wheel, because like there's a severe lack of wheelage up the front here, which is unusual, but yeah, it's just design. But again, the painting, the riveting, the actual rivets are all like molded. The cow catcher looks great. The front of the train looks great. He's just a cool little train, very colorful. And yeah, I'm very happy with that. And then we have the guy that we're looking at today, Starscream. Now he's kind of based off very early concepts of what a flying vehicle would be. In this instance, it'd be a 3-winged or biplane with death and murder added. He's got 3 spinning blades here, so those blades can spin. He's got little blades at the front that you can just stab you with. He's got 3 rolling wheels, so he actually rolls on the ground, and he actually rolls well for a plane. So this guy looks pretty good in every angle. Unfortunately, just due to budgetary issues, the hands are just kind of sticking out the back there. I don't mind. It's an unfortunate thing, but what can you do? It just looks really cool, like a Batman kind of silhouette to it as well. You know, it's very much a Bat motif.
Very steampunk at the same time.
Yeah, 100% steampunk. This Hearts of Steel is basically that era. But like, it looks great. Holds together again. They hold together great, except for this bit. But I think we have some comments here saying from Rob Franklin to keep the panel down. It's just a matter of making sure the arms and the legs are all lined up and correctly. It can be a bit fiddly. Yeah, I don't. So Optimus transformation is on the fiddly side. Starscream super easy, fits together, holds together like a champ. If I would say who's the better out of these two, I'd probably say Starscream, because like I just say, he does everything a little bit better. But they're both really good. Again, it's the first time we've had these figures represented in not represented in physical form from
Represented.
Represented.
It's a great word. It's made up. It's mine.
Jason said there's a fender missing from the Optimus. Is there? Or he said if you would have.
Oh, tender. Yeah. So the tender. So the thing I was talking about before, the rest of the train.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do it. I heard even someone in our group might be making one soon, or I don't know. Maybe Nate Luke might be looking into designing one. That would be pretty cool. So I just say he does it a bit better. Just even though he's got the hand issue. But yeah, really cool designs. Worth $80 in my opinion, because again, like your deluxes can go up to $45 these days, so you're kind of making a saving even if you do kind of pay shipping. Megatron and Bumblebee look great. Bumblebee looks amazing. Megatron looks great. And I can't recommend highly enough jumping into your local Zing or the Gamesman, if you can get to the Gamesman and they have it in store. Getting these guys, they are fun little figures, highly recommended, and I can't wait for the second pack. And here they are again, just
Cool.
Excellent.
beautiful
Okay,
little toys, beautiful toys.
All right, so guys, what a great night it was, and like I said, homage to a little splashing of Transformers mainline, but we were focusing on primarily the Bandai and Tamashii Nation specials. And like I said, if you want to get all your stuff, make sure you go to Sugo Toys. You get your 10% discount code, and we had a nice selection of different things to look at tonight. We had Pop Stars, we had Indiana Jones, we had Transformers, we had Gundam. We had Nex, we had Gunpla. Look at that. Just a bit of everything. So you can see Adam's got his Gunpla, he's got his Gundam, he's got his Robot Spirits, Tamashii Nations, we have Jamiroquai, we have Indiana Jones, and plenty of other things. And of course, the highlight of the night for me was letting everyone know that very soon you shall see a wonderful review on that 1/6 scale figure. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry. The motorbike.
Super
all right, super premium as always. Gents, thank you for your time and enthusiasm. I appreciate all you guys always coming on and giving me your 150% of love and enthusiasm for toys. Thanks once again to all our viewers as normal and people that tune in and joining in. And it's been a great night. Thank you so much, guys. Don't forget, use the code, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe. And from all of us here at toyreel, have a great night, guys. Have a great night.
Yes.
This episode of toyreel is proudly brought to you by Sugo Toys.